Wow, it's so good to be out here today. We really got nice weather, and that we know that healthy eating is important for preventative medicine and keeping a long and healthy life. But you know, we also got to get our exercise in, and you know what, today we're going to do yoga. And I just saw something on the TED Talk that said exercise can give immediate benefits to the brain, and they stay with us. And so that's why I'm so excited that we're going to be doing a yoga class, and we're going to meet Nancy. There she is, Nancy. Hey, how are you? Give me a hug. Welcome to 10,000 Steps.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for coming out and helping us.
Oh,
out
I'm
here
so
today.
glad. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to be getting you all warmed up for those 10,000 steps today, working on those muscles and those joints that are going to help you.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And stiff backs, right?
Stiff backs,
All
yeah,
right.
tight hips. We're going to lubricate ankles and joints. We're going to get you ready to roll. You'll just slide along those 10,000 steps.
Now, Nancy, tell us a little bit about your background and what you do and how long you've been practicing yoga.
Okay, well, I've been practicing yoga for way too long, and I want to admit I've been practicing since I was in my early 20s, which makes it about 47 years ago that I started practicing on a pretty regular basis. And about 10 years ago, I got laid off from a regular job and decided that I wanted to actually share the practice with other people. So I got certified through a local studio, Open Doors, and have been teaching. And then last year I got certified at Kripalu. I got a 500-hour certification at Kripalu. So which is a wonderful form of yoga that brings a lot of transformation into the body and the mind. So it's just a wonderful thing that I'm able to share. So I'm using this last part of my life as in service to others. So
Now, I understand that you do a regular yoga program called Yoga for Boomers.
Well, yes, I do a Yoga for Boomers show for Harbor Media, and it's about a half an hour, and it's for individuals. Starts on a chair, gets everybody moving, and it's really focused on people who might think that they're too stiff, too tight, too old to do yoga. For anybody, I like to call them boomers, anyone of my generation or even a little younger, born during the Second World War, the boomers, the boomer generation, and older. And it's my mission to really help bring yoga, health, wellness to people in that generation, because we really need to take care of ourselves, right? Because nobody's going to do it for us. We want to have a long, strong life. I also do meditation at the end, so help them really calm the mind, reduce the stress, which we all share.
Yes, and for the record, today I started my day out very stressful, especially when you've got a college-age child and you're having those interesting, challenging interactions. So that being said, what also can you recommend in terms of helping one sort of tamp down the stress and get into a Zen space for yoga?
Okay, so to get ready for a yoga practice, it's always about centering yourself through your breath. So it's about connecting. Actually, yoga is all about the breath. So centering ourselves by breathing very mindfully, filling the belly, letting yourself empty and fill. And we're going to do that before we get started with the actual movement.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right, so we're going to bring ourselves into the place where we'll do our yoga just by bringing our awareness to where we are. So I want you to close your eyes, let the crown of your head reach up towards the sky, and bring your awareness to the sensation of breath in your body. Without affecting any particular change, just notice how the breath feels, if it feels restricted or smooth, choppy, if it feels shallow or full. And you might even notice just by resting your awareness on the breath that it automatically begins to lengthen and fill you up a little bit more. We'll take 3 more of these beautiful full breaths into the low belly, into the low ribs, and up into the top of the lungs. Allowing the exhale to simply spill over into a nice, smooth, relaxing emptying. And then allowing the breath to fill you up again from the belly up into the low and mid and upper ribs. So the lowest lobes of your lungs is where the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, where your rest and digest is triggered so that it relieves a lot of stress. And slowly open your eyes. Take in this beautiful, beautiful scenery, this breath, this air, this wonderful breeze on the body. And then find your way onto your back. Bring your strap with you. So bring yourself down onto your back. We're going to do a lot of work on our hips, stretching through the buttocks and the side of the hips, stretching the hamstrings and getting ready for that walk that you're going to go on, Jill. So walk your feet close to your buttocks, just walk them in towards you. And then take your right knee in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your shin. And just give yourself a squeeze here. Relaxing through the shoulders and the jaw. Just give this squeeze into the shin so that the thigh presses into the belly. And then bring that right foot down to the ground and bring the left leg in. So just beginning to stretch into the low back, into the buttocks. And then bring that left foot down to the ground. Find your strap and take the strap around the ball of your right foot. Holding onto the strap, one side in each hand, press the heel up towards the sky, draw the toes down, and get a nice stretch in the belly, the meat of the hamstring in the back of that right leg. So you don't want any pulling in the back of the knee or at the pelvis. You want it right in the meaty part of that, that muscle. And then slide the left foot long on the mat. So you're going to let the left leg extend, and it's active. So you're flexing that left foot. Turn the toes of the right foot out to the side. Take the strap into your right hand, both sides of the strap. And then open that right leg out to the side. Keep the left buttocks on the mat. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Draw the leg back up towards the sky. And then bring the right arm out to the side, bring that right leg across to the left. So you're going to roll onto your left hip and bring that right foot as close to the ground as you can. If it doesn't get super close, that's okay. Rolling back onto your back, glide the left heel back towards your buttocks. Flex the right foot and bend the right knee. Bring the ankle on the thigh. So you're going to bring your right ankle on your left thigh. And then press right towards the top of that right thigh. Just gently press it away from you, opening up the front of the right hip. So you're going to open up that hip by giving a little press into the flesh at the upper thigh. And you can stay here if your hips are comfortable here. If you want to deepen this opening, you can wrap the strap around your thigh and draw your left leg in. So that's an option that you have. You can explore it, see how it feels in your body, and if it doesn't feel right, you can just lower that leg. So yoga is all about finding your own edge, your own limits, without moving into pain. Bring that left foot down onto the ground and extend the right leg up for one last little stretch. Bend at the knee and bring that right foot down to the ground. Draw the left foot in towards your buttocks, so both feet are in towards your buttocks, Joe. And take the strap around the left foot. So you want it around the ball rather than even pulling on the arch of that foot. And then you're simply going to press the heel up, draw the foot gently back. And again, remembering you don't want any pulling in the back of the knee or at the connection of that hamstring to your pelvis. So it's a nice stretch in the middle of the muscle. Glide the right leg down to the bottom of the mat. And holding onto the strap in your left hand, turn the toes of that left foot out and then open up to the left with that leg. So you're opening that leg out to the left, keeping the right buttocks on the ground. Draw the leg up towards the sky, switch hands on the strap, and bring that leg across to the right. So you're going to roll onto the right hip. And then bring yourself all the way back onto your back. Glide the right foot in towards your buttocks. Bend the left knee and rest the left ankle on your right thigh. So here we're opening the left hip. So pressing the thigh away from you and deciding if lifting that right leg would be right for you. So it's always fine to explore. If it doesn't work out, then back off. Keep the top foot, the left foot flexed. You want that ankle flexed to protect that knee, that left knee. And then lower the right leg. Right foot comes down to the mat, extend the left leg for one last stretch. And bring that left foot down next to the right. Rolling onto your side, bring yourself up to tabletop. So you're going to come onto all fours. Great. We're going to take the right leg up towards the sky. So we're going to bend it. The foot is going to be up towards the sky. And we're going to bring that right knee out to the side and make 4 or 5 circles in one direction. And after those 4 or 5 circles, move in the opposite direction. So you're pushing the mat away, the arms are nice and straight. Take that foot back to where we started with the foot up towards the sky. I always want to say ceiling, thinking that I'm indoors. And we're just going to pulse. So we're going to work on that hamstring, a little bit of strength as we pulse up. So 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then bring that right knee in towards your chest and extend the right leg long. Bring it around to the left and look over your left shoulder towards that foot. So bring the foot down to the ground and then sweep it back. Bring the knee into the chest. Extend the leg long. Bring it around to the left and then bring it back. Extend it, bring it into your chest, extend it long. And this last time, as you bring the foot back over to the left, cross the knees, bring both knees down to the mat. And then we're going to just sit back, getting a super stretch. So keeping your feet as wide apart as you can, just bring your hips back as far as you can go. It's going to be different for all of us. Okay, well don't force past any kind of super restriction, Joe. You just want to listen to your own body. And in time things open up. Bring yourself back onto all fours. Take the left leg up, the foot is facing the sky. And then bring the knee out to the side, make about 5 circles in one direction. And then bring those circles in the opposite direction. Bring the knee into your chest Extend the leg long. And bring the foot over to the right. Look back towards the left toes. Extend the leg behind you. Bring the knee into your chest. Extend the leg long and bring the foot over to the right. Look back towards the toes. And one last time, extending the leg behind you. Bring the knee into your chest. Extend the leg. Bring the foot across the back. Bring the knees down to the ground and sit back as far as you can comfortably go. Pulling yourself back up to kneeling. We're going to do something else. And what's next? Okay, I have lots of things planned for you, so hold on a second.
This is called table pose.
This is a table pose, and in table pose you want your fingers spread nice and wide. You want to be pressing into the earth with the pads, the edge of the palm of the hands, the pads of the fingers. The elbow creases are turned to face forward, so there's a little internal rotation of the upper arm. We're going to take the right leg back again and bring it down onto the mat. We're going to get a nice calf stretch here. So walk the toes in a couple of inches and then press into the heel of that right foot. A nice calf stretch, Achilles stretch. Release the stretch by coming forward slightly and then press back into that stretch and hold it for a breath or two.
This is a great stretch if you're running track or ready to play any type of a running sport.
Absolutely. And then come back. Bring that knee down to the ground and take the left foot back. So the toes are on the mat. Step them in just a slight bit so that when you press the heel, there's a nice stretch in the sole of the foot. Nice stretch through the Achilles and the back of the calf. Release the stretch and then go right back into it for a breath or two. And then bring that knee down beside the other knee. So we're going to curl our toes under, and you might really dislike me for this next move. We're going to do a nice little foot stretch.
You promised it was going to be gentle, Nancy.
So it is gentle, but our feet don't get much attention, and so they are shocked when we give it to them. So bring your heels up towards the sky. Your toes are right underneath it, and then we're going to walk ourselves back so that we're sitting on our heels. Our toes are going to kind of turn under. Yeah, you can moan and groan. You can, I only ask you don't hate me for this. Most people do not like this. It's not a comfortable place to be, but it's an excellent stretch for the toes, for the sole of the foot, for the heel. So sometimes we just have to do it. So you can always bring your awareness away from the sensation by bringing your awareness back to your breath. Okay, so just bring your awareness into your breath. And then we're going to bring our hands back down to the mat. And we're going to get a little quadricep stretch by coming into a pose called hero's pose. Now you can bring your knees slightly apart. You're going to sit back with your buttocks between, so your feet are wider than the same distance as your knees, and you're going to sit down with your feet underneath your buttocks, your heels underneath your buttocks, and you're going to get a nice stretch into the hamstring. And if it doesn't feel like a really good stretch on the hamstring, you can deepen it by simply walking your hands back. So you want to be pressing your knees forward as you're leaning back. It does feel good. In a sore tooth kind of way, in a loose tooth kind of way.
But pain is good when it's chosen pain.
Yes, yes. And you are in control, so remember, you are in control.
Right, I'm not going to try to be a pretzel like you.
And you don't want to try to be a hero here, even though this is hero pose, right? You want to be good to your body. So we're going to step the right foot forward, get a nice stretch into our psoas muscle, this big muscle in front of the left hip. You want your left knee a little behind your hip, and you want your front knee over your ankle. And then sink into that front foot, getting a stretch in the front of that left hip. So your psoas is so important in getting up and down from a chair, walking up and down stairs, climbing hills, if you're going to have a hilly route when you do your 10,000 steps. It's responsible for a whole lot of stability in the body. So we want to stretch it. We also want to strengthen it periodically as well. But right now we're giving it a nice stretch. Then we're going to straighten the front leg, bring our hands to the mat, and come up onto the heel of the foot. So we are going to wake our IT band up by turning our toes out to the right. Yeah, say hello, IT band. And just breathe into the sensation, always backing off if you feel shaking, if you feel strain, sharp pain. Could be challenging sensation, and that's okay, but you don't want pain. And then bending into that front foot, draw that foot back, and we'll move to the other side. So you're going to step the left foot forward, the right knee will be behind the hip, and we'll sink into that front foot. Nice. So you want to really keep the core engaged, draw the navel in, lift the sternum and the crown of the head so the spine is nice and long. And just breathing into this side. So these static stretches, these static yoga stretches are really good for getting some nice length and extension into the muscles that might be really tight or restricted. But if you go too far, you pay a price. So you don't want to go so far that you pay for it the next day. Then we're going to straighten the front leg, come onto the heel, lift the toes. And then find our IT band. So you're going to turn the toes out.
Oh, baby.
Hello, baby. Hello. It always talks to us.
Oh, yeah.
It does. And basically it's saying, thank you, I'm usually ignored, so I really appreciate this. And then bring yourself forward again, glide that left foot back. We're going to come into a down dog to find our way to standing. So you want to bring your hands nice and wide, fingers nice and wide. Turn your toes under, lift your hips up and press them back towards the ocean, the harbor. Yeah, great view, huh? So just pedal your feet real slowly. Just bring one heel down as you lift the other. And when you feel that you've moved enough, just come to stillness and begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. And then bring your hands up your legs until you come all the way up to standing. Nice. So I have a couple more moves for us because we're going to get into our ankles. We haven't done our ankles and you're going to be walking, so let's do that. It's also a little bit of balance, and when you're walking you want to be very aware of balance because you don't want to fall down, right? So bring your weight into your left foot and come onto the tops of your toes, right toes. So your toes are bent over. Great. You can bring your hands to your hips for stability. Just press down onto the hips, root down into the ground. And then we're going to roll over the toes as if you are lassoing your leg from your hip. So it's just kind of making circles here. Getting right into the joints of those toes, switching directions. Great. And then bringing that foot down. Find your stability. You can dig yourself a little hole for stability. Come on.
What does that do, Nancy? What's that intended to do?
The rolling over?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get those toes and the muscles around the toes, the tendons and all of the bones, all the 26 of them in our feet, I think, just kind of ready for the walk.
Lubricated, right? We lubricate them.
Yep. Every time we move a joint, we encourage synovial fluid or a synovial joint. We encourage that fluid into those joints. Roll over the toes. I used to work for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we worked with nursing homes, and was working with a podiatrist one time who really believed that our feet are really, what keep us healthy and young, because roll them in the opposite direction now. he was really into feet. Well, he was a podiatrist, so no wonder. But he always felt that you needed to take care of your feet so you could walk, so you could really be mobile. And when I was at Kripalu recently, I heard the Chinese saying that disease comes in through our mouths, but age comes in through our legs. So we want to keep our legs really strong. So I do a lot of work with legs. So we're going to work our knees now. So bring your feet and your knees together. Bring your hands between your legs. So your fingers are right between your knees and your thumbs are on top. Okay? And we're going to circle. It's if you're rolling over the edges of your feet, but you're not lifting your foot off the ground. And then we're going to switch to the other direction. And then centering the knees, pressing yourself up. We'll do one last thing, and then I think you're going to be ready to roll. So we're going to bring our feet about hip width distance apart, and we're going to circle the hips. So just a little bend in the knees as the hips take nice, big, slow circles. And then bring those circles in the opposite direction. And then stop, bring your feet together. I think you're ready to roll.
Nancy, really, this couldn't have come at a better time because I had a 6-hour drive home from New York, not last night, the night before, and then I sat all day at a conference, and so you feel all the just stiffness, and this has really opened my hips. I'm ready to walk. Are you ready to rock and roll, Joe?
Yeah, I'm ready to
wow,
roll.
thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. Okay. Take a nice breath in. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Nancy. Great to meet you.
It was fun. It was great to meet you.
Great to have you lead us. Thank
Well,
you. I feel energized now. I feel
Good.
grounded, but
Excellent.
energized.
Laura, those are some really cool yoga pants. What's up with them? Where'd you get those?
Oh, wow. You know what? They're called the Josephine Stripe, and they're dedicated to my niece, Josephine. She battled ART cancer, and these are made by a designer in New Jersey she's K-Deer, and these are American made, and she dedicated these stripes to Josephine, and some of the proceeds go to Josephine's Garden to help fight pediatric cancer.
With all this workout, I really would like to take in some ice cream or something like that.
Ice cream. Hey, let's get some kombucha or we could get some juice. We could go to the juice bar, or we could get a smoothie. Let's opt for something healthier. Let's stay on the track. Let's stay on the path to 10,000 steps to wellness, Joe.
Kombucha.
Yeah.
All right, we're off to see some kombucha.
A little bacteria and yeast cultured. Let's go.
All right, let's do
Good
this.
for our gut health. Good for
All right,
everything, right?
I'm down
Let's go.
for that.
Let's do
Let's
it.
get some kombucha. All right, this is
All
cool.
right, we got
cool
it.
Stuff.
This
cool
was good.
Stuff.